Okay, just so everyone knows, we are live on YouTube now. Norm's just going to add it to the Artsfront website and I'll check and make sure that's up and running as well. And then we're good to go. I can see Michelle's joined us too, which is great. Hi, Michelle, our Auslan interpreter. Excellent, live on YouTube. Okay, I can see we're live in the Artsfront website as well. Excellent. Now I'm going to mute myself. Then you guys are good to go from midday.
Kaya Nunakot, Wunju Wunju, Nija Wajak Wuja, Nyan Jerapan, Nyan Kut Jerapan, Wakaning Nunakot. Hello everyone, welcome from Perth country, and I'm happy and my heart is happy to be speaking to you all today. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which we're all meeting today and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle White from Community Arts Network. I'm kind of emceeing the CAN session today, so I'll start off with the housekeeping. This is being recorded and it will be streamed live and available for viewing afterwards on www.llol.com.au. We'll be sticking to the 30-minute time frame today. Can you please all just take some time to introduce yourselves in the Zoom chat and let us know whose country you're on today. There's live captioning available if people click on the captions icon on the screen. There's also live signing from Susan at Auslan Stage Left, and people participating that way just need to click on the video and pin it. And if you've got a question for us, please just type it in the Zoom chat, or you can just put your hand up and we'll respond to it. And lastly, please keep your mics muted when you're not speaking. And if you have any tech problems, or if there's any feedback that you want to give us, email it through to contact@artsfront.com. So, Kaya everyone, thanks to Artsfront for inviting us and giving us opportunity to share our Lullabies program with you today. As I said, I'm Michelle White, I'm the Partnerships and Platforming Manager here at CAN. And also joining us from the CAN team, we have Phil Bartlett and Ellie Jones. And also there are a few other CAN peeps online as well. Hi to Miranda, and also our job sharing CEOs, June Morehouse and Monica Kane are also online today. So look, again, thank you for giving us this opportunity, and thanks to everyone for jumping online and joining us today. So let's get to it. What we want to talk about is this program that we've been running for the last 4 years called Lullabies. And to give you a bit of a feel for it, we thought we'd start off by sharing a video with you. So this video was launched last year. It's being played on the giant, was launched on the digital tower in Yagan Square, and it plays on the giant outdoor screens around Perth. It's called Jinda Jinda Kanangor, and it was one of the first lullabies we created as a part of our Lullabies language revival program. It was translated by Gina Williams, her mum Glenys Watts and Pauline Hales. And the song that you're about to hear is performed by Gina Williams and her musical partner, Guy Gauss. I'll cue Miranda now to set up and share the video with you. And I won't tell you what it is, but I'm pretty sure you'll recognise the tune. Over to you, Miranda.
Jinda jinda kanangor ngang kara jin nach no no yira ngalang bujura 진득 가난고 난 가르친 나치노노 진다 진득 가난고 난 가르친 나치노노 Yirang alang bujurak Boya makin wolak Cinda cinda kananggo Nangkara jinnach
Thanks for that, Miranda. So every night that video clip plays in the city of Perth, sending the city off to sleep with one of the world's best known lullabies and one of the world's oldest traditional languages, Noongar. The Noongar language block is actually one of the largest language blocks in Australia. It stretches from Geraldton in the north right down to Esperance in the south of the state. And it's made up of 14 different groups, language groups. And although it covers a really, really large area, because of past assimilation policies, the language is considered to be critically endangered, with less than 400 fluent speakers left. Now, while this statistic obviously gives this project its urgency, it's not what drives it. From our point of view, this project is motivated by the community's genuine desire to learn and share Noongar language, and basically to reclaim what should have been their birthright, you know, their traditional tongue. So yeah, CAN has been working on the Lullabies program for the last 4 years. It's federally funded, and we've been privileged to work in 4 communities, one in the metro area and the other 3 have been in regional locations. And in the process of developing these songs, we bring in a language teacher, a singer-songwriter, and we team it up with a creative activity as well. And in most cases, it ends up being doll making, because we have a really strong tradition of creating storytelling through Noongar story dolls with CAN. And all of these elements come together to bring community into a safe space where it doesn't matter about your language level or what you do or don't know. You're in an environment where you're encouraged to embrace language, learn language, and then take those learnings to turn them into a song that becomes a legacy for yourself and your family, and also for sharing with others to promote Noongar language. So yeah, we're going to hear from one of our facilitators now. We're really lucky that Phil was able to join us today. So Phil Bartlett is a Noongar singer-songwriter based here in Perth. I might just pass over to him now so he can tell you a little bit more about himself. And Phil's going to sing a couple of lullabies for us. Over to you, Phil.
Thanks, Michelle. Hope you're going well, by the way. Hi, everybody. How are you all? That's good. Yeah, I was very privileged last year to have a call from CAN, and to have been asked to maybe be a part of the program, which has been running, as Michelle said, the last 4 years. And I wasn't too sure on what to expect, but as we started the process, I found that we were working with people that have actually had trauma. This group of people had some trauma that had happened when they were young, or some of them were stolen generation, and people that have been through tough life. And what better way to be able to express the emotion, because sometimes what we do is that we hold in a lot of emotion and there's no outlet. So a lot of these people have held in a lot of emotion for many years, and as a singer-songwriter and a performer that's been performing for years, I know from experience that the best way to be able to, to be able to unleash some of those negative emotions is to sing it out, or to write it down, or to express yourself by even visual arts. Some people may find that hitting a boxing bag, everybody has different ways, but for me, being able to do that via music and singing, it's such a great outlet. So the process was that we were going to do and learn some language, some Noongar language, and then the people that were sort of targeted, that were the participants, had an opportunity to be able to obviously learn the language, but at the same time be able to write down lyrics on what they were expressing, how they were feeling. And the idea was to be able to write a song with that. And I think we recorded around 7 to 8 songs, roughly off the top of my head. That was all done in language. And most of those participants had been able to sing and perform those songs, which we recorded, which you can actually get on SoundCloud. So it was a real process that was just such a joy to be a part of. I've been a part of all kinds of different things over my career in terms of my music, but it was probably one of the better projects, probably one of the best projects that I've, without a doubt, been a part of, because it wasn't just the fact of the singing, but it was the fact of understanding people and understanding their story, and then being able to be a part of writing that down with them, and then coming up with some music, and then recording it with them, and then building a relationship, and then the whole process of recording. It's just fantastic. And now they have something that they can call their own, their story, and they'll be able to record that professionally with professional artists, professional, linguistic Noongar language speakers, as well as a producer, engineer that comes in that's been doing lots of things. So for me, it was just a fantastic project. And by the end of it, it was so rewarding, because we've made some friends, and some of these people have just been able to express that. So from that point, it's just been just a great program to be a part of. And we hope that we can sort of keep it going, and because it's changed a lot of lives in terms of being able to express what's in a different kind of way, recording beautiful music and getting the story out. So it's been a real privilege.
Phil, would you be able to share 1 or 2 lullabies with the Zoom audience?
Yeah, I can do that now. I was going to do a couple, but we've already played one. And when Gina Williams is singing, no, just let her do her thing. So I've got one song here that we recorded, and the way that she sings that, and Guy produced, did the guitar work on it, was just beautiful. So I don't want to spoil that. So if you're listening out there, Gina, great work. So just bear with me for a moment, folks. This song here that we did, we recorded last year as a part of the Lullabies, and a lady by the name of Rosie, she wrote this song about her young baby at the time, I think, and things didn't work out, without going into too much detail. So she was able to express what she felt, this beautiful baby, and I'll let the melody and let the song tell its story. Oh, by the way, with these melodies, as you'll find, that it's very simple, but it's melodic. And when you get the gist of the melody, you'll be singing it in your head. So that's the idea of it: simple, short. My way,
Phil, that was incredible. Thank you. That was amazing. So Phil, as well as being one of the facilitators on Lullabies, also helped us out last year when we partnered with Awesome International Children's Festival to do a community choir, and Phil was a choir leader for us, and that was one of the songs that he taught the group, and it was made up of people of all ages and from all different backgrounds, just community members who wanted to volunteer their time to come together to learn a little bit of Noongar and take that Noongar home and share it with their families. So Phil, if we've got enough time, maybe we'll come back to you and see if we can squeeze in another song at the end. We'll see how we go, because you're talking about Gina's voice, but equally in awe of your voice. Just incredible. We're so privileged to have you as a part of our Lullabies program. So looking forward to see how this translates into the online world, which is a good segue to introduce Ellie Jones. So she's a recent team member. She's only just joined CAN, and she joined actually just as we went into lockdown for COVID-19. So she joined a new organisation, had to take on a massive new program, and then had to try and figure out a way that she was going to do it from her lounge room, and with no human contact, through a program that is basically very, very community driven. So look, I'll pass you over to Ellie now. She can tell you a little bit about herself and about how we're going to do Lullabies in Corona world.
Thanks, Mish, and hi everyone. It's really great to be part of the CAN session, this session today. As Mish mentioned, I'm a recent member to the CAN team, just joining in the middle of March. To share a little bit about myself. A common theme through much of the work that I've done has been bringing people and communities together to create positive change, whether that's through community arts projects to improve health outcomes, leadership programs for young people, or supporting the sharing of musical communities and knowledge. Most recently, prior to CAN, I've been working with young people with an out-of-home care experience to ensure that their voices are heard and to advocate for systemic change within the child protection system. This role took me to many parts of WA and also gave me the opportunity to spend the majority of last year in Mbantua, Alice Springs. Joining a new organisation during COVID-19 and in a time of such unknown, the thing that's really shone through for me is the way that CAN was quickly able to adapt to creating an online environment that still enabled those warm, open and transparent conversations. As I'm sure you've all found, it's often those incidental conversations that are so important to building relationships, and it's been really great to be part of an organisation that really recognises and values this. During this really incredibly challenging time for so many people, and what can be a very isolating time, Something that I've increasingly appreciated is that being pushed into the online space has enabled the breaking down of those geographical barriers to make greater connections with other people, like we're doing today. This leads me to share with you how Lullabies 2020 is being developed. Through conversations with previous Lullabies projects, discussions began about how we could keep the essence of Lullabies continuing online. She had mentioned at this point the previous Lullabies program manager, Brooke Small, who's been instrumental in these initial conversations and lighting this spark. As Mish has already mentioned, the heart of the Lullabies project is Noongar families learning and sharing Noongar language to create lullabies in language that can be shared with families and with the wider community. With this in mind, we're looking at delivering a block of online Noongar language classes, followed by the opportunity for participants to work with professional artists to create and record their own lullabies. We're so delighted to have Phil working on this project again this year. And yeah, I'm so excited to be working with you. The project's going to be open to all Noongar families, and we're going to be keeping the number of participants pretty small to ensure that this pilot is as flexible and responsive to the group as we possibly can make it. A really important element of a number of the previous Lullabies projects has been the opportunity for participants to record their lullabies, which have been produced into a physical CD and songbook, and also online versions. Where those links are, we'll share with you at the end of this. With delivering this project remotely online, we're looking into technology that will mean that participants can still record their own vocals, but from the comfort of their own homes, if they're feeling comfortable to, which can then be mixed in with the music recorded by the artist. We're really lucky on this project to be working with artists and sound engineers who've worked on previous Lullabies projects, which has really helped us think creatively about how this will work, and also start to iron out some of those lumps and bumps before we actually get going with the project. One of the key challenges for Lullabies Online will be how participants feel connected to and build relationships with each other and to artists and to CAN. We know that building relationships can be pretty challenging with even in the real world. So going online, it adds another layer to this. The process of creating a lullaby can also be a really personal journey, and ensuring that we're able to create a space that is safe, warm, and welcoming is really important. We also want to make sure that the project is as accessible as possible, so that people don't miss out because of lack of technology or lack of confidence in using technology. Although you will need a smartphone and internet access to be involved, we don't want to make this a tech-heavy project, and we're looking at ways that we can communicate this when we're promoting it. We're also having a look at what online platforms we use to make sure that these are familiar to people. So this is things like Facebook groups to keep in touch, and exploring something like Zoom or the new Facebook rooms to see what will work best for the language lessons. This way of working online is totally new for the Lullabies project, and that's why it's really a pilot. We're really excited to be going on this journey with everybody involved, and we'll be seeking feedback throughout, as I'm sure there'll be things that we know at the end of the project that we don't know at this point. Ensuring that we build space into the project that allows us to stay flexible will be key to ensure that the heart of the project, that Noongar families can learn and share language, which can be passed on to future generations, continues to stay at the heart and centre. Thanks, Mish.
Thanks, Ellie. And yeah, welcome to CAN Online and Lullabies Online. We've just had a question from Melissa from Arts Nexus, and she wants to know, how do people go from learning these beautiful songs to then learning the complete language? June or Mon, if you want to jump in and say anything, or Phil, please feel free to do so. But I was just going to say, CAN can provide people with resources and also link them up with language courses. There weren't many a few years ago, but there seem to be quite a few that are being run through local arts, I'm sorry, Aboriginal organisations. There's the Noongar Butcher Land language group. June, maybe you can help us out here. Curtin University runs a course as well. Some schools are teaching Noongar language. There's Judy School in Bunbury that teaches the kids, and there's also Woolwich College up in Midland that also does, and I think some of the high schools do as well. But yeah, there's definitely been an increase in the number of organisations offering language lessons.
There's a real appetite for learning Noongar language, I think, these days, but really what CAN's focused on is bringing language to the fore with the communities and giving them the kind of environment in which they can figure out what stories they want to tell and how they can do that using their own languages, as Phil was outlining. So Lullabies is one of the programs that is Language Revival. The other program, major program that we're running, is Place Names, which is another 5-year program. And maybe we'll need to do another little lunch on Place Names, because that's a massive project that picks up on the Noongar names, place names that are still in use, that are the names of towns right across Noongar country in Western Australia. So that's a fabulous project that's worth talking about more, and in which we've got a range of major partners. But lots of West Australians speak Noongar without knowing, because they're using the names of those towns all the time. And each one of those names is kind of a sentence in Noongar. So really our aim is not to try and teach people Noongar so much as bring to life Noongar in people's lives. And I guess the distribution and sharing of the lullabies is a way of alerting the broader community to just how alive and beautiful this language is. And the response to the lullabies whenever we've shared them has been amazing. I did just put up that we've so far produced 36 lullabies or songs. Some people have written ballads because they've got fabulous stories to tell. In fact, the Knockout ballad from last year in Mandurah was a piece that Phil recorded from one of the participants, John, who wrote a really moving piece about his wife who he'd lost. And that's, we've put that up for nomination in the WA Music Awards Song of the Year, because and Phil's vocal on that is, as you can imagine, stunning. So yeah, that's just a sense of what we're about. Mish, is it a good time for me to just say one of the reasons that we decided when we, like a lot of organisations when COVID hit, where do you put your energies around producing online material, and how much do you invest when we don't know how long we're going to be in that space? And obviously where we've got pre-existing requirements that we have to meet for the ongoing program. So just quickly to say why we decided it was really worth investing in doing lullabies online was because longer term, our CAN's really moving into an area where, based on its deep history of work with Noongar communities, which has now been in place for about 15 years, we've been extending our work with culturally and linguistically diverse communities, and that's really taken off over the last 3 years. And lullabies is potentially a mechanism and a model that is great for bringing about intercultural connections. And I know Asil is online today. Hi, Asil, and we know about the work that you've done. And we're desperately sad that when you were in WA, that connection didn't get made. But we see the real potential to broaden this program over time, over a long time, working on a First Peoples First principle, maintaining this Noongar program, but broadening it out for intercultural work. And if we do that, the idea that we might have people who want to sing lullabies from their village and they can connect with their village online or bring family in across international boundaries just seemed like an opportunity that may be there. And so investing in how this works and whether it works and whether we can keep the personal energy and relationship in it seem worthwhile. So this was one where we invested.
Thank you so much, June. We're getting very close to our end time. Asil, I hope June answered your question in the information that she just gave then. I wanted to also acknowledge that Charmaine Counsellor has been one of the key creatives that's worked with us for the last few years on the Lullabies program, along with Phil. And I was hoping that we'd get Phil to play us out, but we've run out of time. So I'd just like to wrap by thanking everyone for joining us for lunch today. Thank you to Feral and Artfront for hosting us and making this happen. And we've really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for my team as well for all your background support. And if you want some more information about Lullabies, Miranda is going to send out some information about how you can connect with us, or you can share our beautiful songs and songbooks that we've created. Kaya, everyone. Thank you. Budawan.